You know, the male loneliness epidemic is insane. And you know, to explain my absence, I've been kind of inconsistent the past month. And I've been curing male loneliness in my life. I know y'all, this bitch ass, lame ass, YouTuber ass nigga, what the fuck, this nigga be at, this nigga don't be uploading, bitch ass nigga. And you know, you're right. You're so right. But get what, though? I've been curing male loneliness in my life. I've been going out, I've been talking, I've been hanging out, I've been living life. That's what I've been doing right now, okay? So, as someone who has gone and touched grass, I haven't literally touched any grass, but as someone who has gone out and been amongst humans, society, people, this post got my attention because what the okay, the right-wing red pill manosphere culture has destroyed the psyches of young men beyond comprehension. Andrew Tate did a significant number on Gen Z men to the level that I can't even comprehend. Now, this post on Twitter blew my mind. Somebody posted a picture of a white man in the 1940s apparently. This guy is holding his daughter. I'm assuming his other daughter is standing in front of him, and his son is behind him, I'm assuming. Now, the person who posted this said, 24 years old and his family of 3, 1946 Kentucky. Rent was $9 a month. This is what they took from you. They took it from you. What in the fuck is going on with the right wing? What is going on with y'all? This is a conversation that needs to be had, okay? Like, what is going on with us young men to where niggas really believe that if only I could live the life of a 1940s coal mine worker, life could be good. This is what they took from me. They took back-breaking labor with improper regulations from me. They took lung disease from me. They took a nagging wife from me. They took kids that probably died from me. They gave me modern medicine. They gave me school. They gave a nigga college. Like, listen to you niggas. Y'all whining about living in the 21st century. Like, spoiled for real. Y'all want to be this nigga? And guess what? Thank God for these for AI constantly coming and fact correcting these posts. This man, William Dillard Eldridge, was 60 at the time of this photo. 60. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, decent 60. Probably destroyed from, you know, lung conditions and shit. Face looks fucked up. I don't know if it's because he's ugly or if it's because, you know, life has worn him down, but William Dillard Eldridge was 60 years old at the time of this photo, not 24. So again, conservative content creators just posting anything and people not fact checking it and believing he was really 24 at the time of this picture. Ridiculous. He was working as a coal miner. He died 5 years later. He died at 65 years old. When he should have been in a rocking chair, taking care of his grandkids, spoiling them, reading books to them, turning on whatever cartoons they had back then for his kids. Instead of that being the case, he dies at 65 years old. I wouldn't be surprised if his body was torn to pieces by the back-breaking labor he'd done his whole life, and I wouldn't be surprised if his lungs were destroyed. Conservative ideology truly does work off of imagery. And I want you all to learn from conservatives because this in and of itself is useful. These strategies and tactics are useful if utilized correctly into the greater good of society. They grab a random picture of some white dude in the 1920s or 40s with white children around him. They put a fake age on the picture. They say he's 24. They grab a price of rent. Rent was $9 a month. This is what they took from you. Rent was $9. Look at the place he's living in. He's living in a fucking shithole shack. That's the life you want to live? His kids' feet are fucking dirty as hell. Okay, that's the kind of living you want for yourself? Is that the kind of house you want to live in? Think of the standard of living back then before you start talking about how much shit cost back then. Please, think about the life this man probably lived, the work he had to do. You see him standing with 3 kids and think you would have had that living in the 1940s? Maybe, I guess, because somebody would have forced a woman to marry you. Is that the life you want? You want someone's daughter to be forced to marry you? This is why niggas gotta go outside, bro. As young men, we have to go outside. Your life is better than this guy's life in every conceivable way. I guarantee you he had to grow up at like 12, 13 years old. You got to be a kid at that age. Hopefully, you got to be a kid, you got to play video games, you got to bullshit around, you got to watch TV, you got to watch anime, you got to eat whatever you want. Hopefully that was your life, or at least you got to eat something decent. That guy, I guarantee you, would probably sacrifice 100 goats to, like, I don't know, Baphomet to have your life, okay? He would trade places with you in an instant. In an instant. But the reason why this picture works is because, see, he's got these 3 kids. He surely must be married, and he's got kids, and he's got a home. Dog. I'm sorry. But, like, this fantasy of, like, a wife being forced on you or just given to you, let that shit go. I pray to God that era never comes back. And frankly, you have to be incredibly inexperienced in life and just absolutely naive to think that that's the kind of experience you want for yourself. You want someone to be forced into your life? That's what you want? You want to wake up next to someone who doesn't even love you? That's what you want. But see, you have such a low understanding of life and such low life experience that you think it would be a loving, happy. No, it would not. It would not be a loving, happy relationship. It probably would not. More than likely would not be. Life is nuanced. Life is complicated. It's not as simple as the little propaganda pictures carefully selected by right-wing Russian bot accounts make it out to be. Okay? Let's live in reality here. Let's please live in reality. Now, the response to the post says, I don't know who needs to hear this, but your life is almost certainly better than a 1940s coal miner. The response to this encapsulates the issue today with young men. This guy responds by saying, you are wrong. Our life is full of material goods, but we are poor in relationships and life. And honestly, I don't understand, like, how and why. I actually do understand how and why this is working on young men, on young white men. But, like, hear me out, my niggas, okay? Huddle up. I'm not about to sit here and go on a rant about how horrible young men are. Fuck no. I'm a Gen Z guy. I'm a Zoomer. I'm an '01 baby. I'm with you. I'm fucking with you, all right? Fuck with me, though. Dog. Working in a 1940s coal mine is not the answer to your loneliness or your social issues. The answer is going outside. I'm a living testament. I'm a living proof. I'm that nigga. But that's besides the point. I'm living proof. Okay? I burned my whole early 20s building the platform on YouTube that I have now. Okay? I spent my whole early 20s uploading, ignoring friends, not hanging out with people, burning relationships, destroying friendships. I burned the first half of my 20s to the fucking ground. I can't get it back. There's no matter how many, goats I sacrifice to Baphomet, no matter how many, rituals I do and, and summoning rituals and all of this shit, whatever these nigga be doing, no matter how many Illuminati rituals I do, I'm not getting that time back. I'm just not. Now that I'm entering my late 20s, I'm in my mid 20s now. I'm 24 and I'm about to be entering my mid to late 20s. I'm pulling up on 30 soon. Somebody in the here go to damn, you old as hell. Damn, shut the fuck up. Now that I'm entering my mid to late 20s, I can tell you, go the fuck outside. It has never been easier to make friends than ever before. It has never been easier to have spare time than ever before. All we have nowadays is spare time. The question is, how are we using it? For those of you working those 12, 13-hour shifts, I ain't talking to you. But for those of y'all who are working typical 9 to 5s or other kinds of shifts or part-times, or you're in school, or you're kind of just, floating around figuring out what you want to do, use your time effectively, please. If you're in college, make friends, talk to people. If you got to put yourself back into the mindset you were when you were in like elementary school, go back to that time mentally where you weren't as socially anxious and worried and scared, and just talk to people. Be normal. Don't be weird. Don't be like cringe. Don't be an anime character. Just talk to people normally. If you're at the gym, talk to people. Make friends. Talk to people normally. Establish relationships. In fact, if you're looking for romantic relationships, I highly advise you start by establishing platonic friendships with both men and women. Platonic friendships lead toward all sorts of things. You're hanging out with friends. You're going here. You're going there. You're doing this. You're doing that. I highly recommend that you do that. I highly recommend that you establish friendships and relationships. You are not going to ever go back in time to the 1920s or 40s. It's never going to happen. But what you can do is try to be the change that you want to see in your own life. Young men and young women are hanging out less than ever before. However, women are still hanging out in real life much more than we are as young men. And no one, as far as I know, is putting a gun to any of our heads and stopping us from hanging out. So the culprit for this, unfortunately, is us. We have got to do better. We've got to do better. We're not evil. We're not the root of society's problems. We're not the worst people ever. But we are responsible for our situation. We have to go outside. We have to build relationships. We have to do it. Women are doing it. A lot of young men are doing it. There's a lot of young men who can't relate to the loneliness epidemic. You want to know why? Because they're out there making friends. They're out there establishing relationships. They're out there living life. I highly recommend that you do this. I highly, highly, highly recommend that you do this, because I'm telling you right now, this kind of romanticization of the 20s and 40s and the struggles of back then and all, you don't want to live that life, dog. You don't want to. I don't care if you're a white man. I don't care if you think you would have been privileged and powerful back then. No, you would not. You'd be begging to go back to your 2025 version. I swear, if a god came down from the skies right now and took you back to the 1920s, the 1940s, I don't care if you're the whitest white man to ever live. You will be begging to come back. You will be pleading with the spirit to transport you back to 2025. I promise you. I promise you. We are fried up as young men. Fried up. I still see niggas blaming feminism for the lack of relationships in life. And bro, dog, feminism is not the reason why a lot of us are lonely. A lot of us are addicted to the video games, the TV shows, the crazy content on social media, you know, the Instagram bops. And there's a time and a place for everything, but like, you can't spend all day, every day of your day burning it up on YouTube, burning your day on games, burning your day on anime, burning your day on music. You need to allocate time toward actually living life. No amount of dopamine that you're going to get from repeatedly watching the same show you've already watched before, none of that is going to compare to physical experiences in real life with people around you. Some of y'all niggas are not going to listen. A lot of y'all are not going to listen. Some of y'all niggas are going to ignore all of the shit I'm saying and keep going straight head first into hell. Can't save all of y'all. But for those of y'all who have been trying this and trying that and trying this and trying that, I highly recommend touching grass. Going outside and building relationships and friendships. I highly recommend that as just your let that be your last ditch effort. Let that be the final stand you make in life. But this romanticization of struggle and poverty and the old days, and let's be honest, the main reason why dudes are romanticizing this is because of the power they had over women back then. Fellas, I promise you, you don't want to be in a relationship with some chick whose father made her marry you. I promise you, you don't want to be in that relationship. Bro, I swear to God, I'm telling you, you do not want that for your life. You do not. Try to focus on finding someone that actually matches your energy, your personality, your humor, your likes, your interests. Don't waste your time fantasizing about an era of human history that never existed. Those people were not as happy as you think. They just had different problems from us. Different issues, different struggles, different problems. Be grateful for what you have now and make the most of the rights and the privileges and everything that we've been afforded as 21st century Americans. Take advantage of it while you've got it. You're not the reason why the world is a bad place at all, but dog, you are in the way of your own success and you've got to move out of your own way. I'm telling you, dog. This romanticization of the 50s and 60s, and men used to have a bunch of families all over the place, and men used to go to war, and men used to do... Nigga, I promise you, you do not want that for yourself. You think it's cool, you think it's a great idea, you think it makes sense, you think these are good things. They're not. They're not. They're not good things. I promise you, they're not. Regardless, some of y'all are gonna listen, some of y'all are not. It is what it is. However, as young men, it's about time we just admit that red pill shit, crazy. It's fucking crazy.